Hello and welcome to the Lund University International Podcast. On the show, you'll hear from current students, alumni, researchers, professors, and many more special guests as we explore what it's really like to live, study, and work at Lund University in Sweden, a world top 100 university. My name is Tim Parker, and I am an International Communications Officer at External Relations. Welcome back to part 2 of our special Lund University International podcast collaboration with the City of Lund. In part 1, we explored how the International Citizen Hub Lund and Cross-Border Talent Bridge support international students and graduates, from settling in and finding community to launching careers in the greater Öresund region. Now, in part 2, we continue the conversation by zooming out and looking at the bigger picture. First, we discuss EU Days Lund, an inspiring event that brings students, researchers, and policymakers together to engage with key European topics. Then, we speak with dedicated City of Lund staff who work every day to ensure international students feel welcomed, supported, and at home during their time in Lund. Building connections is key for international students, and that's where EU Days Lund comes in. In this episode, we explore what EU Days are, why they started, and why it's so important for Lund University students to be involved. We'll hear about past events, key themes, and what's coming up for EU Days 2025. Plus, we'll find out how international students can benefit from attending and getting involved. Tune in to learn more about this exciting event and how it connects Lund to the wider European community. And today in the studio, we have 2 special guests from Lund City. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Moa Ageberg. I'm the head of external relations in the City of Lund.
And my name is Simon Berg, and I'm the project manager for the EU Days Lund at City of Lund as well.
Moa and Simon, nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in. And I believe we have one Lund University alumni here as well.
Yes, that's correct.
What did you study at Lund?
I studied political science and a Master of European Affairs.
Nice, in an international program in English,
Yes.
if I'm correct.
Yes.
And Moa, you studied at another Swedish university.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm an Uppsala student, but that's fine too.
Absolutely. Here we have 2 alumni from 2 of the best universities in Sweden. So I'm really happy to meet both of you today. What are EU Days in Lund?
EU Days Lund is the main annual Swedish EU forum. It's a conference. It gathers around 500 participants, everything from high-level participants and students, researchers, academia, the working life, business. It aims at bringing together people that are interested in EU issues to network, to listen to interesting seminars, to listen to speakers during the course of 2 days. And this time, it's the 5th time we held the EU Days of Lund this year.
Is it held every year?
Yes,
Okay.
every year in the autumn. And I should say the organizers behind it is the City of Lund, the municipality, Lund University, the European Commission's representation in Sweden, and the Europe Direct office in Lund.
So that must be a really bustling and busy time every year in autumn, these 2-3 days.
It is, I would say. We would like the city to be immersed with the EU issues, but it's mainly in Stadshallen, the city hall in Lund, and we invite everybody. It's an open forum, so everybody can come and go and listen to interesting seminars and interesting speakers and a network. It's a time where we try to bring the European agenda to a local level, but also bring the local level to the European agenda, so to speak.
Nice. And you mentioned it's a time to collaborate and bring the EU agenda to Lund. Is this why EU Days was started?
It started as an initiative from the municipality or the City of Lund and the European Commission's representation in Sweden. We saw there's a huge potential here because there is no EU forum in Sweden. We actually have no place for gather and speak about the European issues. We have Almedalen, which is a Swedish forum for discussing national politics, but we have no such thing for EU affairs, which is so important. And we saw Lund is a perfect place to have this. So that's why it started. We can also see it's really important that it's not in Stockholm because everything else is in Stockholm. We need to get people to also be involved in both politics, but especially in European politics and European issues outside of the government offices in Sweden and its surroundings in Stockholm.
And we're also the closest to EU or Europe.
Physically?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. That all really does sound fantastic. I'm interested to know, why is it important for Lund University to also be involved in EU Days?
Since Lund University is such an international university and has a lot of international students, the theme to speak about the European Union and the issues about the European Union really gets Lund University to be a natural partner to be arranging the EU Days as well. And of course, all the research that is at the university, the Master of European Affairs, which is the oldest master about the EU in Sweden as well. So it's pretty natural for Lund University to be a part of the EU Days as well.
And I can add that the university is a very engaged partner in this. And when it comes to like the culture of discussions among the public in Lund, I would say it's on a very good level. People in Lund are very keen on discussing things in general and are very well educated. So this is also a reason why it's so great having EU Days in Lund, because the levels of discussions are great. And of course, the university adds to this, bringing researchers, bringing students in to this event. And we really benefit from having the university as a partner. They bring a lot of interesting stuff to the agenda, of course, but also all the students participating make it really interesting to hear all the questions they're raising to the commissioners, for example. Or it's not basic questions. It's very interesting ones.
And that does lead us into our next question about international students or Swedish students as well. How can international students and Swedish students benefit from attending this event?
I would say it's a great place for networking. Or first of all, it's super interesting. I mean, if you're a political science student, it's basically your education, and it's a must to attend. But it's also interesting for everyone else because it's the themes are very broad. Everyone can find something that they're interested in, and then it's a great place to network. It's a great place to learn and to meet others, but it's also good, like we have career events during the EU Days connected to it. So if you're interested in, for instance, a career within the European Union or similar, we have people at the event talking to you about it. So you can benefit in many ways. Do you have something you would like to add there?
Well, since it's so open and the possibility to mingle and network, I think is... perhaps the main benefit, and especially to reach out to these politicians or parliamentarians. The EU Days is really a nice place to be.
It's very relaxed, so everyone participating it's not like we have like a VIP area where all the speakers go. Everybody mingles in the same place, so you get opportunity to speak to interesting people that you normally don't get to speak with. We have commissioners attending, ministers, and so on. So take the chance and take part.
It really sounds, from your descriptions, very collaborative and accessible. We have Lund University and the city collaborating, and there's 500 people. Students can attend. It really does sound accessible, like a dream for an international student.
I hope so. I mean, it's...
And I should also add for our listeners, so the actual location where this is held is very close to Lund University, very close to where we're recording this pod today as well.
And maybe we should add that, like, Lund is an international city with lots of international citizens. So that also makes it very natural to have this kind of event in Lund. It just adds to the picture of Lund as an international city and also an international player on the international arena, because we want to drive change in so many ways. This is just one thing that we do, and not only the municipality but also other parts of Lund are vital players when it comes to, for instance, working with climate change issues, or we're deeply involved in different kind of human rights projects and so on. So this is very natural for both the organization, the City of Lund, but also for other parts of the city.
And I'm curious about the previous event from 2024. What were the key themes that were discussed there?
Well, at the EU Days 2024, of course, the security issues in the European Union about the ongoing conflict in Ukraine was discussed, and also connected to artificial intelligence and digitalization and the threat about using that in conflicts. Of course, one of the main things we spoke about was the EU elections, of course, the parliament, and also the new commission were discussed, and they were also presented during the EU Days, the new commission. It's about internal market, trade issues, business.
We keep it quite broad, but also it's always something that's is high on the agenda, on everybody's agenda.
Yeah, we use the Commission's strategic agenda as the platform where we pick the themes for the EU Days. So we try to follow that as well.
Could you also let us know some examples of past speakers that have attended?
Of course, we used to have at least one commissioner, and it's been Ylva Johansson, the Swedish commissioner, and Cecilia Malmström as well. Last year we had Vera Jourova, who also visited us. We have had former EU ministers and parliamentarians, general directors from agencies, national agencies, politicians, local politicians, national politicians. We have a lot of ambassadors as well that are engaged and are visiting us. So it's also a possibility for the international students to speak with the ambassadors from their home countries and other countries when they're at the EU Days as well. So state secretaries, EU ambassadors.
Some journalists.
Some journalists.
Wow.
Foreign correspondents.
An impressive list.
Yeah. Perhaps we should mention as well the former Prime Minister and President today, Alexander Stubb in Finland, has also been a speaker at the EU Days.
I would also like to talk a little bit about Europe Direct Lund. Could you please tell us what that is?
The Europe Direct offices are something that exists all over Europe. It's a local office that gives information about the EU to different target groups, but they're also involved in different kind of events, and it depends a little bit on the city or the office what they do. But our Europe Direct office is a very active one. I would say it's the best in Sweden. But I'm a bit biased.
Lund has many of the best things in Sweden.
Yes. But the Europe Direct, they're partners. They're one of the main organizers of the EU Days in Lund. So they are, this year, they're also having one seminar, as they've had previous years too. They're organizing one of them. But other than that, the Europe Direct office is also very active in giving information to the public in various ways. They're visiting schools. They're doing organizing different events all over, not only in Lund but also in other parts of Skåne for different target groups. It's a great way to make the public on the local and regional level aware of different EU issues. For instance, they go out to many schools. Maybe sometimes they role play an EU issue with the students to make them more aware about EU. How it functions. that's just one of many activities they have. I can't tell you here now how many activities they have on a weekly basis, but it's a lot anyway. They're very active. So if you want information about the EU and you're in Lund, and you can always get in touch with your Europe Direct office.
Fantastic. And what role does Europe Direct Lund play in organizing EU Days?
Well, as I said, they are one of the main organizers of the EU Days. So they take part in the strategic planning. They organize a seminar, and they help out with some of the side events too. So they're an integral part of the organization behind the EU Days.
And now, of course, I have to ask, what is planned for EU Days in Lund 2025?
Well,
if you can tell us.
It will, of course, be the best EU Days ever. And as I mentioned earlier, we're using the strategic agenda at the EU Commission as the inspiration for themes. And this year is special as well because Sweden celebrates its 30th anniversary as a member in the European Union, as well as it's 25 years since the Öresund Bridge opened.
There will also be a half marathon across that bridge.
Yes.
I'm going to run it. It's not going to go well.
So these two are the main themes. So we try to connect everything about the EU Days to either Sweden 30 year in the Union or 25 years of the Öresund Bridge. So we're talking about border issues between, mainly Sweden and Denmark. We will also have a focus on business this year. So the CEOs from Tetra Pak and Axis, which is two multinational companies here in Lund, will attend. We will have, I think we can say that the Swedish EU minister will attend as well as a keynote speaker.
Well, hopefully we'll have a few. Hopefully we'll have a few commissioners as well. We'll see about that. The program is not set yet because is it 6 months still left?
Yeah,
but you can keep yourself updated on the website. The program will be shared with you shortly, I hope. But we have a lot planned. We'll see how it turns out in the end.
One of the most appreciated things from last year was a career event that a lot of students visited. They are discussing the possibility to have an EU career, and they also will attend these EU Days, and they always try to connect their event to the themes as well. So this year they will be talking about, security, business, and climate. So things related to the themes and how you can make an EU career in Brussels or Luxembourg or other places as well.
I think many of our listeners will be very interested to hear that list of themes, and I'm sure they're wondering, how can they get involved or participate in EU Days 2025?
There will be, it's an open forum, so everybody can attend. We would love for all international students and students in general to attend. It's not open for registration yet, but it will be during the spring. And the information will be sent out quite broadly, but otherwise you can always look up, just Google EU Days Lund and you will find us. But I would say come, mingle, network, listen to all the seminars, the speakers. At the moment, we don't have an organization where we need extra people to work with us yet, but we would love to see side events if you want to organize something in connection with the EU Days. We are always open for discussions, so reach out to us and we'll see what we can do. But everybody is very welcome to attend. It's going to be the best EU Days yet.
Fantastic to hear. I'm also curious about how EU Days reflects broader EU challenges and opportunities.
As I mentioned before, the themes of the EU Days are always our themes that are on top of everybody's agenda. So it's of course, the themes reflect the issues on the EU's agenda right now, which also is a result of what's on the agenda for most countries. So it's always highly relevant topics that are discussed. But we've tried to also have some sessions where we look forward, like what's going to happen in the next years. Especially last year we had what's on the Commission's agenda moving on. What are going to be the challenges for the next 5 years and later on, and always look. We try to have some closing sessions that discusses what's next, and with our advisory board that has a lot of insight when it comes to how the EU works, and also having the students in the audience. There's always a lot of interesting questions from the student perspective, which most of the time reflects like another perspective, a more a perspective where they look into the future a little bit, which is great.
And also interesting to have the international students asking questions, because it's often not just a Swedish perspective, it's also the international perspective.
What's the future vision for EU Days and its impact on Lund and beyond?
Well, we're aiming at EU Days Lund becoming, it is already the main national EU forum, but we would like it to grow, of course, making it a very natural place to start your EU semester every year. We would like to gather more high-level participants in Lund, and that would also affect the city of Lund and the picture of Lund as an important player nationally when it comes to EU issues, but also internationally, of course. So we're hoping with this event, we would like to grow the interest and awareness of EU in Lund, but also regionally and nationally, of course. We would like Lund to take lead in change, in international affairs, and Lund is an important player in Sweden, but not everybody knows what's going on here. So we would like this to add to the picture of Lund, both nationally and globally. And hopefully this will also impact the way international students look on Lund.
Perfect summary. Okay, well, is there anything else that you think we haven't discussed already?
It will take place the 23rd and 24th of September.
This is 2025?
Yes.
Just in time for the new international students to arrive as well.
So please come to Lund and join the EU Days when you're here.
Fantastic. Moa, Simon, thank you so much for today.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
What a great look into EU Days Lund. A vibrant event where global perspectives meet local action and students become part of shaping Europe's future from right here in Lund. For the final segment of this mini-series, we're shifting our focus to how the City of Lund actively supports international students from the moment they arrive. From arrival day to long-term integration and community building, Lund City is deeply involved in creating a welcoming, inclusive environment which allows international students to thrive and grow. So, what does that collaboration with the university look like? What services and opportunities are available? And how do international students contribute to the life and culture of the city? Join us as we explore these questions and more with a special guest from Lund Municipality. Welcome.
Hello, thank you. So my name is Femke Potsulkowski and I work as a student coordinator in the City of Lund at the municipality. And I also have a background I'm from Sweden, but I am also from the Netherlands and Poland.
Okay, so you're a super international.
I hope so.
And you also studied an international master's degree at Lund University, I believe.
I did.
What was that?
Master's in Applied Cultural Analysis.
Nice program. We know it well here at the External Relations Department. And you graduated recently as well.
Yes, just 2 years ago.
Okay, so you really do have like a good perspective of the Lund community. You've studied an international program at Lund University and now you work at the municipality.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's right.
So based on the theme of the segment of today's pod, is it fair to say that international students are welcomed by Lund Municipality?
They are. As a student coordinator, I work with the whole target group, students. So we are around 40,000 students in Lund, and a big group of them are international students. And we have identified like ways and channels to come closer to this target group. So yeah, that's that's how we have information in English, of course, and we also try to get in contact and reach them where they are. And that's really important for us.
Nice, because we know that a key factor for international students is to feel welcome, and it can be like a long journey to come from the other side of the world to Lund. So it's nice to know that the municipality is there.
Yeah.
And one of the first sort of, other than the contact that students have before they arrive, their first point of contact is on arrival day. Why is this such an important event for international students?
Yeah, so Arrival Day is one of the welcoming fairs that are hosted by the Lund University, I think, for students. And this especially is for international students. Often the students are just arriving, like recently from an 18-hour flight from Australia, or maybe they just arrived that week, and some of them bring their parents or a family, but they're just settling in. And we think it's very important to be a part of this first meeting, because it's not only their first meeting with their studies or Lund, but it's also their first meeting with Sweden, or maybe even Europe. So we focus a lot on the general information and not trying to push on too much information when you're like jet lagged and tired about sorting your waste or biking. But we have all information at hand in our booth, so to say. And also we hand out a brochure in English for the students with a lot of like general information, but also contact ways. So like ordinary citizen aid, and like where you can seek up the municipality if you have any questions, or you're keen to maybe change something in your area.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's how we work. But we have also tried a new thing last year, handing out a cheese grater or a cheese slicer.
Oh, how Swedish.
Very Swedish, but also I think it's from Norway, so don't tell anyone. But I feel that it's a very Swedish thing, and that's what we tried to like focus on, the meeting with Sweden or Scandinavia, or yeah.
Nice. So Lund Municipality actually has like a booth at the arrival check-in.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. And
that's right.
Can students coming in the autumn of 2025 get a cheese grater?
I hope so, if we have the budget for it next year.
Okay, so it's not fully confirmed.
Well, you'll meet me and I can answer questions about the cheese slicer and cheese grater. But no, I will be there and answer the general questions. And then I also have some colleagues from special areas. Sometimes it's from the culture department, talking about events and things like that. And also like looking forward, housing. If you are aiming to, it's hard to say on your first day, like if you want to start a life in Sweden after your studies, but we want to like grow a seed that this might be your future home. And that's this first welcome is very important for us.
Nice. Well, I think a lot of international students do come to Lund with the idea of staying in Sweden.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, so in addition to Arrival Day, how does the municipality collaborate with Lund University to ensure a smooth arrival experience?
So we in the municipality we have something called International Citizen Hub, and they are co-funded by the university, and they ensure that students who are aiming to stay or in the last semester of their studies or just recently graduated get a smooth transition from there. But we also have contact with external relations and information on the website. Yeah.
Fantastic. So we do have a separate pod where we talk to your International Citizen Hub. So be sure to go to listen to that one because they are amazing. But it really sounds like they're the bridge between the municipality and the university.
Yeah, it is.
And there's a lot of events going on there.
They are crazy. They have events almost every day.
crazy good.
Crazy good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. So what are some of the key services or resources available to students when they first arrive?
So new students in Lund, both national and international, have the possibility to sign up to receive a welcome gift from the Lund Municipality. And that includes like a city gift card and some other things, information, where to turn if you're looking for aid in some of the areas that we talked about before, but mental health, healthcare, but also like mobility. Are you very eager to like check out the surrounding areas or nature reserves, maps, things like that? So yeah, that's something we really want to provide.
Nice. And you got my interest there because I really like the nature areas and reserves that are close to Lund. They're pretty easy to get to, right?
They are.
Yeah.
And we have 35 in the City of Lund or in the municipality. And that's really much for being one municipality. And they're almost bike paths to, I think, every one of them. And we have some really close where you can walk to in Lund. So that's great.
Nice. Top tip.
Tip.
Additional side tip for people listening to this pod.
Yes.
Because when you first arrive in Lund, it's the end of summer, the days are still long, the temperature's still really nice. So we always say like go out to Lomma Beach or go hiking in Skrille Nature Reserve. That's quite close by.
Yeah.
There's Torup in Malmö, and then a little further afield, there's a lot more. Anything from like a short half an hour walk to like 4 or 5 hour walks.
And don't forget Sweden's smallest national park.
Oh,
Just outside Skrille, the Skrille Skog something. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's really cool.
nice. And that will be part of the information on that will be part of the
Yes.
welcome pack. Yes, perfect. And it's also available online as well.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, a lot for our international students to be excited about.
Yes. And in addition to that, I would just want to add that we also have the event calendar with events that are free that we host or other businesses or organizations host, and also the outdoor gyms. There's a map for where you can visit and exercise for free, of course. And that's also something that we can offer for our citizens.
Nice. And yeah, there's a lot of outdoor gyms in Lund, right?
They are, we love to exercise here.
Yeah, be healthy. And there's a lot of things for our international students to be excited about. It's great to know that both the municipality and the university are very welcoming. But of course, moving overseas can also be a challenge. So what are some of the biggest challenges that international students face when they're settling in? And how does the municipality help students to overcome these?
One issue that we have identified together with representatives from the student life is that a lot of international students have a trouble navigating in the healthcare system.
Okay.
So often there is help to receive from either student health through the university or the primary healthcare, which is like the hospital, of course. But it's hard to understand the system as an international student. And also there's could be some difficulties when you haven't received your personal ID number, which you need for almost everything here in Sweden. And we have not come up with a solution yet, but we have identified how this is an issue and trying to, together with the university, communicate in an easier way where to seek healthcare if you and what kind of healthcare you might need, if there's mental health or if it's physical health, or you have been like something awful has been happening to you and things like that. So we're working on it, but we know that it's an issue and yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Although students can get things resolved.
Of course.
If something happens.
Of course, yeah.
And I should also add that the Student Health Center at Lund University is always here to help students with mental health challenges or stress or things related to studies as well. So there's a lot of resources there.
Yeah, they are great. We work with them a lot. So.
Nice. And I'm sure some of our listeners are wondering, what is a personal number? What is that?
a personal number.
Yeah.
And this is so, as a Swede, this is just something but it's this magical number that you need for everything to access, receiving a package from the mail, or even going to different websites, or getting a bank card, or
getting Swish,
getting
Swish money through your friends.
It's it's an ID number that's very public compared to the social security number that's in other countries, and each citizen has one or will get one sooner or later, hopefully sooner. Yeah,
and can definitely also be helpful further down the track when you're looking for a job as well.
Yes, it is. It's and it's a good thing. We're very digital in Sweden, so we do things very online based, money transactions and everything, like shopping, but that also comes with the cost of having this personal ID number. And if you don't have it, it could be different issues with getting the services that you might need as a citizen. Yeah,
a lot of steps and exciting things for our international students to undertake when they get here in Sweden.
Yeah.
Are there any specific programs or initiatives designed to help students to integrate into Swedish society?
Well, there are. As I mentioned, the International Citizen Hub, maybe for later, but you can join a lot of their activities, even though you're,
And there is a lot, as we talked about.
There is a lot.
It's not like they just have like a couple workshops. It's like very extensive.
Yeah, but one thing that I would really recommend is to join one of the different språkcafé, language cafes that we have. So on our website, on the municipality website, there's actually listed, and I think it's at least one a day a week. So it's it could be the Swedish church, or it's the library, or some of the organizations, student organizations also have them here. And that's just an easy way to start learning some Swedish, apart from like using the apps, Duolingo and such, but also getting to know Swedes and come outside your international student bubble, because that's also a problem when you start as an international student and you get to know your international peers. But if you're aiming to stay and take a part of the Swedish society, I think it's a good idea to activate yourself outside this student life.
I agree. You got to take the step outside of your comfort zone.
That's true. And also sports. Like, Sweden, we have a lot of sports organizations, and mostly of them are very, very cheap or for free. So that's also a thing that I really, really recommend.
Nice. And you have been a Swedish student studying in an international program, so you have a good perspective on this too.
I hope so. But that's true.
And I'm just wondering how the municipality gathers feedback from international students to improve their experience as well. Because, it's not like, Lund is amazing. We know that. We're a fantastic student city, one of the best universities in the world. But, not every single international student has a positive experience the whole way through.
No, that's really true. We try to gather feedback I work with the student life representatives, and I facilitate a dialogue forum, which is between the student representatives and the municipal council. And they also represent the international students, so the nations and the student life as a whole. And they have feedback about like how some target groups feel about different things. And that's one way that we try to really take feedback and develop into a better direction, I would say. But it's hard to get everyone's opinion, of course. And when is it like around 7,000 international students or something?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it changes every year.
Yeah,
and
it's hard to get everyone's experience. But we hope that if you have something an idea to improve anything, or you have some feedback for us, there's always my contact number is on the web page for students, on the City of Lund, but also you can contact the municipality at all times. We also have an open desk where you can visit us or you can call us. So I think it's in that way that if you have something really important to say, we hope that students also reach back to us.
Yeah, dialogue is a really important part of Swedish culture, which might be a concept which international students need to get used to. There's a student representative on the university board, for example.
Yeah.
A student union representative.
Exactly.
Yeah, so students really have a voice in the whole community.
They do.
And what role do international students play in the broader Lund community? Because you just mentioned there's about 7,000. That's international students.
This target group, international students, they play a part in the bigger picture of like expanding the City of Lund in terms of innovation and sustainability and work establishment, but also in like the greater Copenhagen area. Like we want to attract international talents and people who are like keen to start a life here or start a maybe business here or develop a new medicine, win the Nobel Prize maybe.
Yes, like we have done some recently.
Yeah, exactly. And that's but also if they don't stay, we want them to take our brand with them across the world, like back to their home countries and tell the story of Lund, like, and story of Sweden, of course, but mainly Lund because that's where I work.
Lund is fantastic. No doubt about that.
No, yeah. It's and we are really good at telling ourselves that also, but telling the story about Lund and the possibilities here, I think that's something to really push for.
Can you share any examples of successful collaborations between the municipality and students?
Yes, yeah. The Climathon.
What is that?
Yeah, well, it's where students, businesses, and researchers come together for 2 days, I think, to tackle climate challenges. And they want to work interdisciplinary, so they try to attract students from different areas within the academia. So, and it's a lot of international students. So we try to improve city life, sustainability projects, but also social initiatives like circle economy and things like that. And that's a collaboration between the City of Lund, the university, but also other local and regional businesses like Alfa Laval and Tetra and Axis and those big corporations here. And that's really cool. I was there last year and got some interesting questions, but it was amazing to see how the students work. Yeah.
All right. Well, is there any final message you have for our future international students from the City of Lund?
Well, it's come here, see it for yourself, and be a part of our overall goal for reaching sustainability and innovation and togetherness. It's really a great place to develop.
Femke, thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
That brings us to the end of episode 2 in our special collaboration mini-series with the City of Lund. We have explored how EU Days Lund brings together students, policymakers, and researchers to engage with pressing European issues, and we've taken a closer look at how Lund City works hand in hand with Lund University to make international students feel truly welcome, supported, and empowered throughout their journey. From arrival day events to long-term integration efforts, it's clear that community and collaboration are at the heart of the international student experience here in Lund. So this concludes our 2-part mini-series on how the City of Lund and Lund University collaborate to create an enriching environment for international students. Throughout these episodes, we've heard from dedicated staff and enthusiastic students who are shaping the international experience in Lund. Through support hubs, career bridges, EU-focused initiatives, and community connections. We would like to extend a huge thank you to everyone who participated and shared their insights. If you're interested in learning more about Lund University, you can go to our website, lunduniversity.lu.se. You can also follow us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X, and you can connect with our amazing student ambassadors on Unibuddy. Don't forget to subscribe, and we look forward to bringing you a new episode very soon.